Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be jumping on the anti-Games Workshop bandwagon to put a positive spin on things and suggest some awesome skirmish games you might like to try instead. Okay, so this video isn't about the Games Workshop boycott, and I'm not boycotting Games Workshop at all, but I guess we should address it a little bit before we move on and look at these awesome games that I've got to show you. So let's just talk about it really briefly, and then we'll get stuck in and work through these great games. I'll show you the books, the PDFs, we'll look at the actual games themselves, look at some alternative miniatures you can use, and just have fun looking through all these different ones, about 11 or 12 in total, so it should be great. Okay, so first up, like I said, I'm not boycotting Games Workshop, and if I did, I'd probably have to look at the platform I'm boycotting it on and boycott that too. You know, looking at Google Ads, Amazon affiliate programs, not to mention the damage it would do to my local game store. So I think there's lots of things to consider if we look at Games Workshop from an ethical standpoint. We have to broaden that view and start looking at lots of other companies we use to make a living for ourselves, and one of those is YouTube. But of course, I understand and support anyone's right to boycott whoever and whatever they like. And I'm a huge proponent for boycotts, and simply believe if you don't like a product, a brand or a company, then the best thing you can do is just not buy from them, not talk about them, not promote them, and certainly not use them in any way to promote yourself or your product either. So if you feel really strongly and want to boycott Games Workshop, then of course go for it, do whatever you like. And there's so many other games available that it's really easy just to give up on Games Workshop completely and focus on those awesome games. So that's all I'm really going to say in this video about it. The chances are, if you watch my channel, you're not boycotting Games Workshop either. But if you want to hear a really good, rational discussion that goes into all the details around the boycott, I'd certainly recommend going to check out Blackjack Legacy channel, and I'll put a link in the description. He has a great conversation about it, and you can really get into the details. It's a really balanced discussion, and I think if you're into this, then that's a good place to start. Okay, with that little bit of gaming politics taken care of, let's move on and start having a look at some games I put together. And here's a few games that I've bought. I own these, I've played them, I'm currently learning some of them, and I can highly recommend to you. So let's go through each one and we'll talk about why I think it's awesome. Okay, first up, we're going to look at Flames of War, and this is a World War II miniatures game. And this is a A5 book, which comes in the Hit the Beach starter set. And in fact, you get this in most starter sets. And really great value, really fun game to play. The scale is a lot smaller, it's a 1/100 scale, so not the 28mm that we're used to, so quite small to play, but that means you can get more little figures on there, and it's a completely different feel to the 28mm game, so I really like it. And certainly for the World War II tanks, it really is a great game to play those, and also learn a little bit about the history, lots of tactics, and all-round really fun game. So that's the book, and this comes in the Hit the Beach starter set. So let's have a look at that now. Right, so here's the game, Hit the Beach, the complete World War starter set, and it really is a complete set. Everything you need to get playing. You've got your instruction manual, the core rules laid out in this quick guide to get you playing really fast. And then here you can see I haven't painted this yet, but I've built everything. I've also got some tanks from World of Tanks that we're going to look at in a minute. But it comes with tons of stuff in here. So this row of tanks here are my World of tanks, and they're made by the same company. They're actually the same sculpts and models as well. But everything else you see in here, so all of this and all of these tanks here and those miniatures, all come in the starter set. So this is cheap as well, like around £40. You get all that. You get cards as well for all the different units, and pretty much everything you need for 2 armies to get started and play the game. So as starter sets go, this is fantastic. You could literally go halves with someone and you've got the game for like £20 each. Oh, excuse that wasn't me, it's a box. You've got everything you need to get playing, 2 of you, or me and my son love this kind of thing. We love building it, and it's a great game. So we're still learning it, got lots to learn. We're going to build our own terrain for it and loads planned for this. So a really great game, but it's not just the starter set. This isn't like a standalone starter set. There's loads of things you can add to the game. Books, different units and all sorts, loads of armies from all different countries around the world. And I've got a couple of the books, so let's have a look at those now. Right, so here's the books, and we decided to go into the D-Day part of the game, but there's so many other aspects of the war that you can play in. They've even got like Vietnam War and everything, but for World War II, we were gonna focus on D-Day, and that's what Hit the Beach is all around. And so we got the expansion book for America and Germany. I think these are £12 each. I'm going to do some reviews and everything on these later on the channel once we play the game and get to know it. But yeah, really nice hardback books for £12 each. You can't go wrong. Packed with some great info to get started, to personalise your armies. I love all the maps, lots of history, really sets the scene and gets you into the game. All round, just brilliant books, and love the game. It's so good. So now let's have a look at some extra models anyway, because there's tons and tons you could buy for it. It's never ending really, the amount of models you can get. But let's have a look at some of the ones that we have picked up. Okay, so here we go. So for the German army, we bought some Tiger tanks to put some more heavy tanks in there. We've got the Airborne Jeep Recon Patrol. We've got a mortar platoon for the Germans and a parachute mortar platoon for the Americans. So some nice little sets. These are like £5 each, these little ones. I think these were 10 or 12, and these are around £10 too. So, you know, expansion wise, these little sets are really cheap. And you can even get dice. I love getting dice, and the custom dice for the games I think is fantastic. These were around £5. So, you know, £20 dice for £5 is a lot better than paying £20 for 20 dice from maybe Games Workshop. I don't know, but there we go. So there's some little extras. So what a great game. Cheap to get into, cheap to expand, and loads of depth. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Obviously, it's not sci-fi or fantasy, but for something different to try, for £40 to get started, I don't think you can go wrong with Flames of War. Brilliant game. Right, on to the second game. Let's go with, stick with the World War II theme, and we'll go with World of Tanks. And this is a great game. We played it a good few times. Great fun, really quick and easy. The models come assembled. They're all kind of painted with a base coat, so you don't even have to do anything with them. We're going to dry brush them and dirty them up a little bit so they look a bit more like tanks. And then rules are dead simple, quick to learn, so you'll get playing this in no time. Real fun. You can just have one tank each side. You can have 20 tanks each side if you want, whatever you like. And the great thing with this is that all the tanks, you can also play with them in Flames of War 2. So if you're interested in getting started, I think this is a great way to go. This is around £25 with the discounts. And for all these things, I'll put links in the description below so you can go and get some discounts on the RRP of up to 20% with Element Games and Wayland Games too. So there's another one, World of Tanks. We've already seen the tanks. Comes in a nice little box, which you can see here. And then that comes with all your tools and things you need. So got loads again. Comes with custom dice you can buy for around £4 or £5. You get little cards. You get these little pieces of terrain, just card terrain. Instruction book. Great cards for your tanks. They look really good. My boy's making his own up for some of the different tanks and guns we've got from Airfix, so we're bringing them into the game as well. So everything you need is in this box, and for £25 you can get started and stuck into a bit of World of Tanks too. So there we go, that's our second game. Right, let's go fantasy next, and this is not technically a skirmish game, it's an RPG, Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't like big companies, you probably won't like supporting this company either, but here we go. I've got some books from Dungeons and Dragons, and this is the old 4th edition, and brilliant game, RPG. You could pretty much just get a couple of books. You don't even need any figures, or you can do it all with pen and pencil. No miniatures, no terrain. Probably the easiest way to get started in any games. And before I started the channel, we played a little bit with Dungeons and Dragons, made our own like homebrew rules. Great fun, and I can highly recommend giving it a go if you haven't. And so here I've got Dungeons and Dragons. This is the player's handbook. And then you'd usually get a few other books to go with it, like the Dungeon Master guides. You need that as well, and maybe a monster manual, something like that. But great books, and I like the 4th edition the best, so I haven't ever upgraded these. Just got these books, and they make a really nice collection. Also got additional books if you want to. Player's Handbook 2. More options for your players. Heroes of the Feywild. Player's Handbook 3, so you can get into loads of details with different classes and races. Got this one, another monster manual, the first one, Monster Manual 3, and martial power for some more options with your fighters as well. And so there we go. So you could literally get these and never need to buy anything else. Just use paper, pen, and you're ready to go. But if you wanted to use miniatures, then you should just get them from so many places. Reaper Bones do really cheap miniatures in the fantasy line. But take your pick. 3D print, so many things out there. Loads and loads of options. It's pretty much endless. For me, I don't really play Dungeons and Dragons anymore, but I like to use these books because they're just packed with information and ideas. And I've actually come up with my own game that I've been working on, and it's going to be released in September, which you'll find out more about real soon. But, you know, the inspiration comes from all these different games, different rule systems, and Dungeons and Dragons has just got so much lore and background to it that it's great for like coming up with ideas and little things. And when you play Dungeons and Dragons, you have encounters which are like mini skirmishes anyway. So there's certainly a lot we can take from that and apply it to our skirmish games for sure. So there we are. That's Dungeons and Dragons. Let's get rid of that and move on to the next game. Right, now let's go from fantasy right into space sci-fi with Core Space, the sci-fi miniatures game. And if you watch my channel already, you know I love this game. I've doing a collaboration with Battle Systems, the UK company that produced this game. And so it's great to be able to work with them, support and promote their product. And I can highly, highly recommend giving this game a go. I've been doing all the how to play videos, some paint videos, unboxing, so you can watch all that on the channel. And I'll be doing some run-throughs and playthroughs of the missions real soon, so look out for that. And this year, around October time, they've got the release of the next edition of this game, which will come in another box set, like the Core Space main box set does, and that's called Firstborn. So that's a great one to look out. I'll put links for that in the descriptions below, so you can go and check out their Kickstarter, and I think you can still do some late pledges to get hold of that, but it's going to be available to buy in stores and everything as well. But I think if you do the early pledge, or the late pledge, sorry, now, then you can get some bonus things and get a good deal. So definitely check that out. But Core Space is great. The rule system's fantastic. Some great ideas and interactions. The AI chart for your NPCs and the kind of bad guys in it are really great. And it's really also like designed by the guy who owns the company for like solo play. So although it is like 2, 3 and 4 player, it's great for solo play because you are going up against the AI system in the game. So it works really well. Rules are really nice and clear. The terrain's the big one for me. Fantastic terrain, fully immersive. You can build this whole setup with just what comes in the box. So for £80, plus you can get that cheaper at Element Games or Wayland Games, you get everything in one box, including the terrain, the map, the miniatures, all the little pieces like these little chests that you actively search during the game, all included, so you're good to go. But again, this one game also comes with expansions, more books, more things you can get stuck into if this one box set isn't enough for you. So let's have a look at these extra bits now. So here's the main box, big chunky box, packed with everything. They really thought about how to get it in there, and also all packs away back into there even when you've built it. So really great. That's the main box, and you saw the terrain earlier on in this video where we looked at the whole battle map, but I'll show you again in a second. But you can also get little expansions, so if you want to grow it, again, build on that core set, you can get extra crews which are all personalized. I've done an unboxing video for this one already if you want to watch that. And so you get your miniatures with a little bit of story, all the cards and little things they can search for. You can get expansions for the game. So this is the Galactic Corps. So you're going to get loads more bad guys and good guys to help you and fight against. And this is just packed with more missions, loads of miniatures. Miniatures are awesome, already built, nice and easy to paint. So there's that one. And if you want more Purge, you can go for the Purge Outbreak. And there we go, we're going to get some more aliens. A little bit of terrain in there as well, as you can see on the back. Lots of cards, some extra missions as well in the mission booklet. So tons to do with battle systems, and it's not just the Core Space game, it's all the terrain as well. And here's a huge terrain pack. Now, if you are still watching this and you like Games Workshop, then this would be great for Kill Team. Just putting it out there. If you don't like Games Workshop, then just keep watching, because you can just use this in lots of other games and also in Core Space. But this is huge. This is a 2 foot by 2 foot map, and you fill it, or mat, sorry, and you fill it with all this card terrain that you put together in the various ways. So really amazing sets of terrain these. RRP is £80. You get a table full of terrain. Get it cheaper than that on those websites. I'll put links in the description below. And today actually I've ordered some more of these. I've got a fantasy village, I've got a city and an apocalyptic wasteland, and that's all geared up for my game that's coming out next month. So wait out to find out more about that soon. So there we go, brilliant terrain. I can't recommend this terrain enough. I've done a video for the ruined monastery already, so that's up on the channel if you want to see that, and also an unboxing video of the core space game where I go through all the terrain system and how it works. And talking about apocalyptic wastelands, here we've got Lands Refueled, and so I picked this book up on Amazon for £13, but you can get it in loads of different places. Osprey Games publish it, so you can buy it on there. I think it's £20 on there. And then, great book. I haven't played this yet, but I've spent a fair bit of time reading through the rules and the rule system. I love the book, the layout of it all, and it looks like a really fun game. I like the idea of building your own team of cars and really like bashing them up and painting them and turning like a good brand new car into something crazy like these. I think it's going to be great fun. So I can't really say how well this plays yet because I haven't given it a proper go, but we've picked out some like cars to play with it that are really cheap just from the local pound shop. So here's what we've got to play this. We got the book that was £12 then, or £13, and it comes with all the templates as well in the back. So you can just photocopy those, print them off. You don't have to buy anything else apart from that. And then we've got 10 cars, what, £1 each? I think these were £1.50, fancy ones, £1.50. So for under £30, you're going to get the book, you're going to get enough cars to have 2 teams and get everything printed so you can cut it out and use all the templates too. So a really cheap way to get started in a game. Terrain, just make it up, get some sticks, some rocks from outside, whatever you like, do some crafting or use some terrain you got from other games, and I think this would be really easy to get playing. So there we go, nice option for a post-apocalyptic vehicular mayhem. Now we're on to Mercs, a great game. Kind of went out of touch for a while. They're trying to bring it back, I believe, but this is a really cool game, kind of futuristic but not too far in the future. I can't remember the year that it's set in, but let's have a look. World of Mercs, and so I'm not sure what year it's set in, but it's just into the near future where the world's been taken over by corporations, so probably not that long in the future if we go by what's happening today. But this is a fantastic game. I really love the rules. I've only got the book for this. I couldn't get any of the miniatures. I couldn't get any of the cards that go with it. But I've really used this as a big influence for some of the elements of my own game that I put together. I just love it. I think it's fantastic. There's some great battle reports on Tabletop, the YouTube channel. So really worth watching it just for fun, really. But a great game. And I was lucky to get this book on eBay for like £10. So I was really happy with that. Again, just like a team of creative people put this together. I believe it was the UK, but it just didn't really go that far. And I think there were some issues with delivery and fulfillment and things like that. I'm not really sure. But as a game goes, great fun. And this has elements in it that I really wanted to see in Kill Team. Reminds me a bit of Infinity. If you like Infinity, then it's got some things in common with that. But as a game go, I think it's really fun. And yeah, really enjoy this one. Going to be difficult to find, I think, but just to show it to you that there is some options out there if you like kind of futuristic military kind of games like that. Oh, and it's very small, so you'd have small teams, maybe 4 or 5 fighters going against each other with some really interesting abilities too. Let's look at some miniatures for these, and I've got these Infinity miniatures, and I put together 2 teams. So I got 2 of these big guys, and then I was going to go like 6 aside, and you can just mix it up and have different fighters. And you know, much like Kill Team, which I really wanted to see was all the different specializations, that's what this includes. You can have a sniper, a medic, a demolitions, a heavy gunner, things like that. So got some really nice miniatures here. Let's focus on that. And these are in metal from Infinity. Not cheap though. I mean, these, what, 12 figures? Weren't cheap at all. They were coming close to like £80–85, I think, for all of them. So certainly not cheap, but very nice. And I've really got to get these painted. This guy's a beast. Let's focus on him. So really nice miniatures. I really like snipers, so I got quite a few different snipers. This is one of them there. So yeah, these will get painted, and these will be played in my own game. We'll be able to use these. You'll pretty much be able to use any miniatures in it, but these will be playing a part. So I'll definitely get these painted. I might even do some videos on the channel as well. Next up, we've got some zombies, and this is Zombicide, the game, and this is a box set. Very small rulebook, so this is going to be pretty easy to learn. I've literally just unboxed it, and there'll be an unboxing video up on the channel. There's only 30 pages. It looks real good, real quirky. I think it's going to be quick to get into. You get a ton of miniatures in here. I think I got this for around £30 on Amazon, real cheap. I think it's going to come with, what, 24, 64, 65, 71 miniatures you get in this set. So a great way just to pick up some zombie miniatures for other games. I do have another zombie game to show you in a minute. So yeah, I haven't really had a good read through this yet, but I'm hoping to pick out some of the nice rules and just adapt it maybe and do some home brewing for this, because I love zombie games, and so it'd be great to have all these zombies out on the tabletop now. And so that comes in this box. Another big chunky box with everything you need, but for £30-40, I don't think you can go wrong. And there's loads of expansions for Zombicide if you want to get more characters, more zombies, more settings, then they all exist. But I'm just going to stick with this one. I really only got it for the miniatures, just to have a nice swarm of zombie models to use. But check out the unboxing on that, and I'll probably do some more things on the channel with it as I learn more about it. And let's stick with the zombie theme, and this is a book I got by Ash Barker from Guerrilla Miniature Gaming, and he wrote this called Last Days Zombie Apocalypse, a game of survival horror, and this is by Osprey Games as well. I'll certainly be doing a video on this, just going through it and flicking through, and this is going to play a big part on the channel too. I love zombies, so really looking forward to this. Again, not one I've played, but I've read through it a lot and had a little go trying it out. But not really played it enough to to kind of share it and understand it thoroughly. But the rules look great. The way it's laid out is really nice and easy to get into, and I think it's quick to learn. But with plenty of tactics in there, really good fun. And you've also got the benefit of watching Guerrilla Miniature Gaming channel, where you can watch all the battle reports and run-throughs and how to put together your teams and things like that, or your groups of survivors. So really fun, and you just need the book. And then, so, I mean, if I combine this just with everything that comes with the Zombicide game, then you're looking at whatever you get the game for, £30-40, up to £20 for this if you pick it up at Osprey Games or wherever you can find it, and you're good to go. And if you picked up Zombicide with 70 miniatures and then this book, it's pretty cheap, and you've got a huge world of zombies at your fingertips. So great fun, and another great game that I'm really looking forward to learning more about. Now let's do something completely different, and it's Burrows and Badgers, a skirmish game of anthropomorphic animals. I love this book, great rule set, great little background to it and a story. The book's fantastic. It's just laid out like an old school children's book almost. It's just got so many like nice memories of children's kind of cartoons and books growing up. So yeah, really nice book. Really nice, interesting rules that use just dropped them. They use the polyhedral dice, so you're going to get like a set of these 7 dice, which I got from Northumbrian Tin Soldier. And so you just need a little band of anthropomorphic miniatures, some dice, and you're good to go. And the company, or the guy that wrote the book, again, UK, small company, local, Michael Lovejoy created this. Also make miniatures for the game, which are fantastic, so definitely check those out. Again, there's going to be a link in the description below to see that. But for me, the miniatures for this game, I really love the company called Northumbrian Tin Soldier, and I've done a video for the book, so let's get that out of the way. You can watch that on the channel now, but I've also done an unboxing for this, the Guardians of the Riverbank, and this was probably my favourite unboxing of any product I've done. It's just fantastic. I mean, it comes in this really nice box. I think it was around £30 if I remember rightly. It's embossed there with that nice gold, nice image, like illustration on the front. And then when you open it up, like the first thing you get are these nice cards welcoming you to the world, and you get the little letter. But then you get this, nice packaging. You get the foam insert. You get a bag of dice, which are really nice dice. Let's get rid of those. And then if you watch the unboxing, you'd have seen these miniatures, but these are just great. All based on Wind in the Willows, obviously, but these are going to be perfect for Burrows and Badgers. So if you wanted to play Burrows and Badgers, you could literally get a set of beautiful miniatures, 10 for £30, up to £20 for that book, again from Osprey Games or Amazon, wherever you can find it, and you're good to go. That's all you need. Terrain, just make some, or you can buy some or use what you've already got. I think you could have great fun with this game. But there's loads of these miniatures, so let me show you some more of them, because they're going to be featuring heavily in my own game, and so you'll find out loads and loads of that about towards the end of this month and into September. So let's look at the other miniatures from Northumbrian Tin Soldier. Okay, so I've got this box called Foggy Peak Goblingtons, and these I haven't unboxed yet, so I'm waiting on this. Again, it's going to be stunning like that. You're going to get tons of miniatures in here though. It's packed with little goblins, real old school miniatures, and these are going to feature heavily in my game as some of the bad guys. And again, this is a UK company, a couple of people creating and running the company, so if we can support them, that's going to be fantastic. I'd love to see some of the bigger YouTube channels, instead of going on about Games Workshop and how bad it is, focus on some of these awesome game creators out there, because these guys, all they need is one or two of the big YouTube channels to promote their product, and they'd be made, you know what I mean? And then we'd get loads and loads more awesome products from them, and that's a cool way to do it. So rather than being negative and just going on about all the bad things, we could focus on awesome products like this and brilliant companies like Northumbrian Tin Soldier. That's what I think anyway. Okay, little rant over there, but here's some more figures from that company, and these are the Night Folk. All metal, already built and put together, and on the back you can see what they look like when they're built and painted. I've got a ton of these. These are all going to feature in my game, going to have different characters. They're actually going to be in one of the books as well, so we'll be using them in that, so you'll see them actually playing a big part of the game. Can't wait. These are so brilliant. And again, you can use these for loads of different games. You could use them for Dungeons and Dragons. This guy's a little crow, which obviously I'm going to like because of my logo. The Crawlock, this is like a magic kind of wizard. So loads and loads and loads. We've got bears, the Battle Bear. We've even got an angry hedgehog. What more could you want? So tons of miniatures on there. Please go and look at their website. It's so good. Northumbrian Tin Soldier. They can post and ship around the world. So really worth checking those out. Oh, and look out for all the unboxing videos coming soon for these too. So that pretty much sums up all the games and books that I wanted to go through. But now let's have a look at some more miniatures. We've got some different companies. And here's one that I really like. Maybe one of my favourite miniatures for a long time. And this is a little like Raven or Kenku Bard that I picked up on Etsy. This was like a 3D print. Really great looking miniature. You could use this in Burrows and Badgers, Dungeons and Dragons, loads of different games. And this guy's awesome. Love it. And from a different Etsy printer, I also got some Rogue Foxes as well. So I got a set of 4 of those. Price wise, I think this was around £5 or £6. And then for £12, I got these 4 foxes. So really nice option. All come ready built. All you got to do is paint them up, put them on a base, and you're good to go. Really reasonably priced too. So there's some anthropomorphic ones to have a look at. And then I've also got some more models getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. I've got some little dogs here. I think these were like £5 or £6 for 3. These are all from from hfminis.co.uk, so you can check those out. I got this dog. I saw this on Guerrilla Miniature Gaming. Who was using it for the Last Days game, and you've got to get Scooby-Doo in on the zombie action too, right? So we've got that one. We've got an archer and a kid as well. You can play kids in the game, so got to do that. There we are. And then also from another company, we've got here, which I forget who. Oh, Studio Miniatures. There we go. Studio Miniatures. They're really cool miniatures on there. They've got some different ones from different movies and things like that. So I just got a bunch of these proper, like, typical ones you'd expect to see in a zombie apocalypse. There's a guy with a dustbin lid and a slingshot. This guy, Danny Trejo, with a couple of machetes. Machete. And then we got that guy from The Walking Dead. Another one with a shotgun from They Live. Had to be done. Who else we got? Oh, the taxi driver. And one other one. I think this is... I can't remember what that one's from. Just looked mad, so I had to get it. So there we go. So some great miniatures. Again, just shows you a few options here. I'm not even talking about 3D printing to do yourself. These ones I bought ready printed. If I had a 3D printer, I think I would just keep printing and printing things and never actually get round to painting and playing them. But I'm not doing too bad here either, just buying these. But all ready to go for the zombie game. So loads of different companies. Again, local, UK, independent companies. These are just made by individuals, printing at home and then posting them. These are made by like talented sculptors who've worked for some of the big games, and then they're just selling them out. So how cool that, you know, we can support these, buy their products, play with them, and then feature them on our channels too. So these are all going to be on the channel being painted, and then you'll see them in action next month with my new game too. Okay, let's have a look at some PDFs next, starting with Index Card RPG. And this is a great book produced by one creator in the US who does some great artwork for all different games. I'm really sure he does the artwork for one page rules. I'm sure he does. It looks very, very familiar, but he's well known. You might know him on YouTube as Runehammer or Hankering Fernhail. Brilliant channel, love it, and that's what got me into RPGs and really into the Dungeons and Dragons style of play and home brewing and things like that. So really great, can highly recommend that. You can just buy the book on Amazon, or you can download the PDF, buy that as well. So highly recommend that you do. And then also I've got here Infinity. That's a free download for the rules. I haven't got the most up-to-date one, but this was just enough to give me a taste. We tried a couple of games out. We used Lego actually, which was really fun. And we played with Lego figures and give them the weapons and things like that. And we just used things from the kitchen like tins of beans and boxes to make all the terrain. And it was awesome fun. I had a great time with that. So 2 really cool PDFs. And again, not going to set you back much. If you buy the Index Card RPG, it's all pen and paper. So once you get the book or PDF for like £10–12, you're good to go, and endless amount of content as you can create some of it yourself. And now we're on to a book called Rain in Hell by Adam Loper and Vince Venturella, who you'll recognise from YouTube, no doubt. And I recently did a book review for this. Great looking game, love the rule set, really nice kind of take. And if you like Warcry and games like that, then you'll love this. It's miniatures, agnostic, so you can use anything you like for this. And really interesting game. Cheap to get into again. I bought the PDF for what would be $10 in the US, but you can get the print one for £15. If you buy the print, you get the PDF free too, and you can use any miniatures you've already got. You could even use Lego miniatures. You could draw them. So this could be really cheap and quick to get into. And again, you're supporting 2 independent creators who've come up with something awesome, and so we can certainly promote this and enjoy it too. Right, now let's talk about terrain, and you can just build terrain yourself. Here I've got some insulation foam, cut it out, hot glued it together, and I've built some like wasted buildings, and I've built a whole city of this that will fill a 6 foot by 4 foot table. Tons of different pieces, all different shapes, really easy to do. And I'm going to get these painted, put some like gravel and rocks and debris and things like that on it, and jazz it up a little bit, and they'll be great for some battles coming soon. So that's just one cityscape. And here I've got some thicker foam and then made some desert terrain. Really easy, cut it out, roughed it up, painted it. Really quick and easy to do. Again, I've got a whole tabletop of this, and I showed you a video of how I made it on my channel if you want to watch that. I've done some arches and loads of other pieces, loads of stacks like this. There's just tons going on, and you can actually watch it in a Warcry battle report too if you're interested in that. So terrain can be really easy. You know, buy the Battle Systems card terrain that's cheap and gets you a big tabletop, or start building it yourself, which is great fun. That just leaves us with what we're going to paint with and glue it together. And you can just buy some glue by Revel, nice and easy. Some spray cans from your DIY shop. I've used some plastic coat spray paint here, matte black. I've got some army painter shrubs, some gravel from the lane outside, some real cheap coarse like grit or flock from someone on eBay who just makes it at home. So again, you can use small suppliers, you can get things free, or you can use companies that design things specifically for gaming, or even just go to your DIY shop and pick things up there. So Games Workshop certainly haven't got a monopoly on all this. There's tons of other places to get it, and we don't have to go with one place. We can shop around if we want to. So there we go. There's a few games that you can get started with if you don't want to play Games Workshop. But even if you play Games Workshop, explore these other ones too, because they're really fun. There's so much to kind of find and discover. I've just come across a few like British, UK companies and creators here, and I think their products are fantastic. Highly recommend checking out Core Space, and I've done a ton of videos already on the channel, so check that out there, and then go look at their website called battlesystems.co.uk for some terrain for every single game genre you can think of. And also look at Northumbrian Tin Soldier, brilliant old school model making. I really love it, and there's a video on the channel and a link down below for that too. If you're still watching, thanks for sticking with me. I didn't think the video would go on this long, but once I got everything out, I had to go through it and show it all to you. I had really enjoyed it, actually. It was great fun, and I can't wait to bring more of these games to the channel for sure and share it with you. But don't forget, next month is the big month for me, because that's when my new game comes out, and I'll be sharing loads of content on here with you so you can find out all about it. But I'd love to know what you think about all these different games. Do you play them? Which ones do you like the best? And even recommend some of your own. If you've got any creators you really want to push out there and support, then put their links or whatever in the description below. Not the description, in the comment below. And so we can all have a look. Any game recommends you've got too. That would be really awesome. So pop it all down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. But that's it. That's the video for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And so please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page. And thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out. And you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description and it'll be great to see you there.